Coming up on City Scene, winter weather won't be bugging some Sioux Falls swimmers. And you can avoid the flu bug with a shot of know-how. And then, want to know what it takes to be a firefighter? Well, we'll tell you. Welcome to City Scene, right here on CityLink, where each month we go all around the departments in the city of Sioux Falls. And of course, all around Sioux Falls, in almost every corner, you can see growth. But there's a lot of planning and preparation that goes in before the stuff you see happens. And that's part of what's happening on the west side. Shannon Austin has the details.
Well, on today's show, we're going to highlight a project for the west side of the city of Sioux Falls, and basically goes all the way out to the Minnehaha County line. And we have a future project coming up on South Dakota Highway 42. And we welcome to the show Steve Graham from South Dakota Department of Transportation. Steve, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So can you give our viewers an idea what the study limit boundaries are for our South Dakota 42 study?
Okay, it starts on the western side at the county line, like you said, and then heads east to the TLS Road intersection.
And how many miles is that?
It's approximately a little less than 15 miles.
Okay, so this particular segment isn't going to all be in the city of Sioux Falls,
No.
but there certainly is that western, I guess, or eastern edge that will be in the city limits in the next probably 20 years. So why are we actually studying this corridor?
The pavement condition on Highway 42 from Highway 17 to the county line is coming due for a major rehab replacement.
Okay.
And before we go putting down a 20 or 30 or 40 year life pavement, we want to ensure that it's still going to be 2 lanes in that area and that the transition from 2 to 4 wouldn't occur in that area.
Excellent.
So that's what prompted the DOT to start the study up and get together with the city to help. Knowing that the city's transition is coming in the area,
Okay.
we extended it east to get into the city.
So what kind of things do you look at in a corridor study?
Well, the primary thing we look at is traffic, and not only existing traffic, but projected traffic based on
Okay.
the future potential land uses and developments that would occur along the corridor and feed the corridor for future traffic. And then safety is another big impact. Current crashes and stuff, and then there's safety modules, models basically,
Okay.
that with the projected traffic can feed in there and predict crashes in the future, how many crashes would increase or decrease depending upon improvements made and things like that. So that's all feeds into the corridor study to come up with recommendations from the corridor study.
So that's quite an in-depth study for just a county or a state highway.
Yes, we only really do this on highways that we know are experiencing future traffic growth
Okay.
in areas like this, and so we focus on them type of roads that we know are having issues today or
Okay.
will be having issues in the future.
So let's focus first on the west end, then predominantly rural. Is our study finding that it's going to kind of stay kind of in a rural nature and keep that same existing section, or are you seeing any
Yes.
changes?
For the most part, it's going to stay a rural 2-lane highway from Highway 17 to the county line.
Okay.
There will be necessary intersection improvements at
Okay.
certain key intersections that'll need additional turn lanes and or lengthening the existing turn lanes that are in that section. Of primary interest within that area from Highway 17 to the county line is the Wall Lake corner.
Oh.
We've had some safety concerns at that corner. There's been numerous crashes at that intersection
Okay.
related to that. So the corridor study took an in-depth look at that intersection in particular to come up with some recommendations for improvement at that intersection as well.
And so I did see from our exhibits there was a few roundabouts.
Yes.
Which intersections are we looking at a roundabout
Well,
at?
as I mentioned, the Highway 42 and Wall Lake intersection is one of the intersections that would be a roundabout or being recommended to be a roundabout. That is being recommended to be a single lane roundabout.
Okay.
And then the intersection with Highway 17 is, from the corridor study, that's being deemed in that area where the transition from 4 to 2 lanes may occur.
Okay.
And one of the ways to make that transition would be with what they call a hybrid roundabout, which it's a single lane roundabout in 3 of the directions, but a double lane roundabout in 1 direction.
Okay. So that Highway 17, just for my benefit then, and maybe some of our viewers, is the Wildwater West Road? Is
Yes,
that
as
right?
you go further south past 41st Street,
Okay.
Wildwater West would be
Okay.
on Highway 17.
So then as you get closer to the city, then going over to the TLS Road, that section of Highway 42 then transitions to a 4-lane?
Yeah, as Sioux Falls grows to the west, Highway 42 then going east will transition to a 4-lane.
Okay. So are any of these projects currently in our 5-year program or 4-year program?
None is in the current 4-year program.
Okay.
But one is right on the edge is that pavement project from
Okay.
Highway 17 today.
So if you had to estimate the eastern section for construction, is it in the 20-year program?
A lot of it's going to be dictated upon the growth of Sioux Falls and when Sioux Falls is going to be growing west of TLS to a major extent. I would speculate it's at least 10 years out and maybe even longer than that.
So how can our viewers stay in tune and educated with this corridor study?
We do have a website specific for the study. It's www.42corridorplan.com.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Okay, and thank you for having me.
And those West Siders, you got some improvements coming long range, so stay tuned.
Thanks, Shannon. And of course, while you're planning for all of those new roads and travel routes, snow removal crews are getting ready for the winter ahead.
You know, it's always like when the first snow falls in Sioux Falls, people kind of forget about the driving conditions and the road and the slickness of the road at times. And so you just have to start thinking about winter and winter driving. So leave a little bit earlier in the morning if there's any type of precip that's coming down. Give yourself plenty of time. Leave some room in between vehicles. Those are all good driving techniques to take with you all the way through the winter months so that you don't have any accidents and you have a good trip throughout town. We plan on getting the same amount of precip that we normally get, which is right around 44 inches of snow, but we may not have those extreme conditions during December and January, February where it gets really cold and gets below zero. First of all, when there's a snow alert, and that basically means that we're going to plow out the entire town, we're going to go be on every street. There's a couple quick, easy ways for you to get that information. You can sign up through siouxfalls.org and sign up your email account at your desktop, or if you want to get it to your smartphone, you can sign up and get it to your smartphone. We send it out several different ways. We send a press release out to all the media, and that includes our city link, and it also includes our web page. So when we're in a snow alert, the information will be scrolling across the city link channel. It will be on our siouxfalls.org channel. We'll send it out to you by email. We can send it out to you as a text message, and all the media usually carry it really well, letting you know that we're in a snow alert conditions. Normally when we come out with a snow alert, we provide plenty of time for you to prepare for it and get your vehicle off the street. We let you know that we have 3 zones within the City of Sioux Falls on how we plow out the city. We let you know when we're going to be in each of the 3 zones so that you can be prepared to get your vehicle removed from the street. Again, this year we're going to be using snow gates citywide, and that should help alleviate the snow from your driveway. It's not going to eliminate all the snow. If we get, like last year, when we get snows over 6 inches, it's too much snow for us to trap when we put the gate down, and it goes around the outside of the snow gate or over the moldboard. So there will be snow in your driveway. It's just going to be less than what it normally would be if we weren't using a snow gate. If the vehicles are off the street, it makes it quicker for us to get the job done, and we're not out there in your way. And it also provides a little bit safer travel for our operators. There's a lot going on when an operator is using a snow gate. He's looking for a lot of different things out there, including your driveway. And if your car's out there, it's just another obstacle for him to have to watch for and go around. And then it doesn't clean the street very well in front of your driveway if we have to go around your car. So it just makes it's a lot safer, it's a lot easier. The snow is basically pushed to the shoulder of the road, and there's no windrows laying out in the street after we get done with it. One of the things, people, if you still have questions about the snow process, snow removal, or any questions about your street, please give us a call at 367-8255. We'll be in our winter hours, which means there'll be somebody working here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including holidays. So when you call down here, you will get actually a live person will be talking to you. And you can ask for any information. If you can't find it on the webpage, if you don't get it as an email or as a text, please call down here and we can help you out with getting you the information that you need.
Okay, now let's dive into the coolest place to take a dip, even in the dead of winter. The Midco Aquatic Center recently opened, and they're looking for help from you, maybe.
I'm Jean Pearson with Sioux Falls Parks and Recreation. I'm the supervisor at the Midco Aquatic Center. We've been open a little over 2 weeks and things have been hopping. We've had lots of people come in and tour our facility to find out more about our season passes, what types of amenities we have available, water temperatures, what kind of classes we're going to be offering. So we've had a lot of neat folks walking through the door, finding out what the Midco Aquatic Center has to offer. And then as far as our daily attendance, we've had great attendance throughout the day. We do see it go up after school is released for the day and on weekends, but lots of open availability as far as open swim goes. We've got lots of lap lanes available, so we encourage folks who have not had an opportunity to come to the Midco Aquatic Center to come visit us and find out more about us. Things have been operating very, very smoothly. We've been really happy with folks that have come in and have shared their feedback. They've given us great ideas of things that they would possibly like to see change, or things that they think are working wonderfully. And so we're really open to people's feedback. We want to know what you think, so when you do stop by, we encourage you to fill out a comment card and tell us a little bit more about your thoughts about the Midco Aquatic Center. One thing I think that was kind of surprising to our department was the number of people that wanted to come in and see the facility. The amount of tours that we give on a daily basis has been very surprising. It's a great thing, don't get me wrong, but it's been very surprising that so many people just want to come in and see. And then you have a lot of people that come in and see it and thought, you know what, I had no idea it was going to be this nice. And that really makes our department feel good. It should make the taxpayer feel good that, we put together a great facility for all types of users, young and old alike, all different kinds of abilities. We want people to feel welcome here. We want people to feel as though this is their facility and for them to use. And so for me, one of the biggest surprises was the amount of people wanting to come in and have a tour. And then those aha moments when they walk through the door and they see the competition pool, the 50-meter pool, they're kind of like, wow, okay, this is pretty amazing. And it is. If you've never seen a facility like what we have, or seen a pool that large, it is kind of breathtaking, if you will. Our daily admission rates are very, very affordable. If you want to come to the facility for a one-day visit, for children it's $3, for adults it's $4, and for seniors it's $3. If you're interested in getting a season pass, the passes that we have available now are our fall, winter, and spring passes. And those are good through April 30th. And then all of our passes, our annual, our fall, winter, spring, and our summer passes, all are renewable starting May 1 of 2017. So if you do come to the facility for a tour, or you're here for a daily visit, and you decide, you know what, this is a place I want to spend more time at, we encourage you to take a look at our pass rates and see which one's going to best fit you. But right now, the best pass for any user would be the fall, winter, spring pass. The rates do go up starting January 1 of 2017, and they would be good for the full calendar year. So if you haven't bought a pass and you want to, now would be the time to get that taken care of. You can buy passes here at the Midco Aquatic Center during our operational hours. We're open Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays 12 to 5. If you're one of those folks that worked at an outdoor pool somewhere else, didn't work here in Sioux Falls, but maybe you worked at a small town pool or your community pool, or you've always wanted to be a lifeguard, now would be a great time for you to get certified. We do have certification courses available here at the Midco Aquatic Center. And it's a great flexible job. We have a variety of shifts for folks to work, and we're really willing to accommodate what we can to make you part of our team. So we look forward to people wanting to do that. Right now, starting wage is $10.25 for a lifeguard, $10.75 for a water safety instructor, so someone that might want to be willing to teach swimming lessons. And then starting January 1 of 2017, we'll see a pay increase. So we do hope that folks will seriously consider working for Parks and Recreation, giving back to your community, doing a job where you're keeping people safe, and also at the same time watching them enjoy themselves year-round. If you are interested in renting our facility for a birthday party or an upcoming meeting, we do have 4 spaces now available for $50 an hour. We have a wide range of days and hours available, so all you need to do is contact the Midco Aquatic Center and find out what is available. If you've got a birthday party on a Saturday morning or a Sunday afternoon or in the middle of the week, we will do our very best to accommodate that. And then you can also work with the Dive-In, which is our on-site concessionaire for birthday party cakes, cupcakes, party favors, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, the Midco Aquatic Center does not allow outside food or beverage. So if you are interested in having a birthday party here or doing some sort of rental, you are more than welcome to work through the dive-in. They will gladly help you with your food and beverage needs. Again, so feel free to contact 367-POOL to find out more about our birthday party reservations. The best thing that I can tell folks of the community and surrounding communities is that we finally have a year-round facility where you can swim indoors comfortably in 13 below weather in the middle of winter here in South Dakota. We're really excited that we're going to be able to offer that type of fitness for people year-round, and it's a very exciting time, and we do hope that you'll make a point to join us at the Midco Aquatic Center.
So now, if you prefer to feel the heat literally at your job, maybe Sioux Falls Fire Rescue is the place for you, and it is for some of these new recruits.
Hi, this is Division Chief Brad Goodroad, Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. I know you've probably seen in the past, we've had some things on our cadets where they come out to the training center and they spend their 12 weeks out there and they learn to be a firefighter before they get on a truck. What we're going to talk about today is the first step, what it takes to become a Sioux Falls Fire Rescue member. And what we are going to talk about is the written test process, our physical ability process, and just what it takes to become the first step for the next cadet class. Okay, and the first step to the process is a written test. And what we do now is it's a test that's done online on a computer. So we have the candidate come in and they take that written test as the first step. If they pass that, then they come down to the physical ability test. And that's what you see here behind me is our IPAT, our individual physical ability test. And those that pass the written will come down here and they'll go through a series of events here, and they have to complete that in a certain amount of time. And once they pass that, then they go on to the next phase, which would be an interview. We do the testing every 2 years. So now in 2016 here, this is our next testing for coming up for next year for our hires that we'll be hiring in 2017. Typically we have about 300 to 600 applicants. This year we've got about 300 applicants that are going through the process. And the really good part about this new process is that they're taking the written test and their physical ability test on the same day. So it's much more convenient for our candidates to come in on one day instead of coming in on a written test and then they have to wait to find out, get an email if they pass it or not, and then come back another day. So if we have candidates from out of state, from California, from wherever that have to fly in, this is much more convenient for them and less costly to them to come in and do this all in one day. As a growing community, we definitely draw people from all over the country. So it isn't just people that are candidates from Sioux Falls or some of the surrounding communities. We do literally bring in people from different states all over the country that want to be firefighters in Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. We do several of these stages of testing because we have several candidates. So if we have 300 candidates and then next year we may only hire around 7 to 10 people, you need to narrow that pool down. So this is what this does, is it narrows this pool down to make sure that we have someone that has the cognitive skills, the mental ability, that kind of thing to be able to perform as a firefighter on Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. Our IPAT behind me here, that ensures that we have members that are physically capable to perform that job of firefighting because it is a very physically demanding job.
If you're too young to be thinking about a career as a firefighter, maybe it's time to at least just get familiar with the fire department. And there's an easy way you can now do that and also get some reading in as well. Jody Fick tells us about a big deal in the city's newest little library.
Hi, I'm Jody Fick with Siouxland Libraries, Assistant Director of your local library system, and I am here at the fire station headquarters. Today we had a ribbon cutting dedicating the Little Free Library that you see behind me. Little Free Library came to be as a project between the fire stations and the library. The fire stations wanted to do something that would help make them a bigger part of the community, and they thought what better way than to have something where children especially could come and feel comfortable being around the fire station and around the firefighters. So this past summer they started doing a prototype and then eventually built the library that you are seeing behind you. The library, it is a book exchange, is the idea of a Little Free Library. You bring a book and then you can take a book. Now this library operates a little differently because Siouxland Libraries is a partner. So we are helping stock the books. So for children in this area, if they don't have a book, they can come and use the little free library too. Now, this is the first little free library. The firefighters are planning to put up 4 more across the city so that they can help become a bigger part of their communities. We invite you to come and use our library. We hope to spread the love of learning around the entire Sioux Falls area.
Finally, from little libraries to a little bit of prevention that can make a big difference in staying healthy this winter. With flu season upon us, Katie Witt tells us how you can keep you and your family and our whole community healthier.
All right, thanks for joining us today. Our topic of conversation with Dr. Jennifer Tingley is influenza this year. It is that time of year that we start talking about influenza, and some people call it the flu. So talk to us about the difference between influenza and maybe the stomach flu.
Yeah.
People get those confused.
People do get those confused. When we're talking about influenza, we're talking about a viral illness that really causes things more like body aches, high fevers, headaches. When people say, oh, I had the flu, they might be referring to the stomach flu, which really is the nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Right now, we're really worried about true influenza, which is the virus that's coming right around this time of the year. October, November, December, January, and on through early spring is when we see influenza.
All right, and we can prevent that, a lot of it anyway, and the best way to do that is with the flu shot.
Absolutely.
So we talk about the best time of year to get a flu shot. Is there a better time, or is it too soon, too late? Talk to us about when to get it.
Yeah, no, there's really not an ideal time to get it. You'd like to get some protection going before we start to see a lot of that virus ramping up in our state. We're just starting to see early cases of confirmed influenza in South Dakota, so it's certainly not too early. Now, if somebody were to come to my clinic in January and say, I don't have a flu shot yet, is it too late? It's never too late, because we do see influenza running all the way up through late spring. And even early summer, you'll see a few random cases. So it's not too early, but I will never say it's too late either. Just get your flu shot.
Okay, and so who do we want to get flu shots? Is there a certain age range, or people with certain medical conditions that should get their flu shot?
Yes, so absolutely. The recommended guidelines are anybody older than 6 months of age, older, should be getting their flu shot. So really there's no age limitation other than unless you're very, very young. In that case, the family members need to get vaccinated. Now, there are certain populations that we worry more about needing the vaccine. Certainly our elderly population, we want them to get the vaccine. Patients that have things like asthma, COPD, diabetes, if you have a chronic medical condition, you certainly will be at higher risk for having more complications if you have influenza.
Okay, and other than the flu shot, talk to us a little bit about some of the other things that we can do to help prevent the spread of this virus.
Right. Certainly getting vaccinated is the best thing that you can do to protect yourself. But the basic things that we talk about, like good hand hygiene, covering your cough with your sleeve here, not your hands, because then you touch your mouth or your nose. So covering your cough, washing your hands, and then avoiding places where, if you're a high-risk person and you go to a movie theater, you might be exposed to other people that are coughing and sick in that movie theater. So if you feel like you're high risk, avoiding those highly populated areas is also a good thing to do. Getting more rest is also important, drinking plenty of fluids. But really, hand hygiene and covering your cough and sneeze is super important.
And if you're feeling sick or that you've been diagnosed with flu, to kind of stay away from some of those places that have a lot of people so you're not spreading.
Right, exactly. If you know that you've gotten the virus, you certainly don't want to be out there spreading it to people that are vulnerable. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to have a little demonstration to show how easy it is to get a flu shot.
That sounds great.
Okay, we have Carrie with us here, who's going to help us out with this flu shot. She just has a multi-dose vial that we use for a lot of our flu vaccine. It does come in different kinds. You can have single-dose vials. You can have multi-dose vials like we have. So it just depends on what your organization orders.
Yep, and this particular vaccine product is considered a quadrivalent, which means it will have protection against 4 different strains of influenza. The one thing I always like to tell people is that this is a killed vaccine. Essentially, it means that you cannot get the flu from getting this flu vaccine. It's a dead virus. It's not going to come back to life in your body. If anything, people might feel a little bit achy or sore after, but that's just because their body is building up an immune response to what you're just about to get. So we'll go ahead and get his arm ready. It's super easy. Cleanse off the area, make sure it's a nice clean entry point. Single poke, push, and done.
That's it.
That's it.
Quick and easy, and saves a lot of suffering. And
Saves a lot of suffering and it saves lives too.
Yeah.
So, good
right.
job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Katie, and I just got my shot just a few weeks ago for a healthier winter season ahead, but of course we can't do anything about those cold temperatures. Now, if you missed anything, all you need to do is head over to siouxfalls.org or check us out on YouTube. And until then, we'll see you back here next month.